I just beat Final Fantasy 16, and here are my thoughts. I've been introduced to the world of Final Fantasy ever since Final Fantasy IV, which was Final Fantasy II back in the day. I played all of them. That's like my thing, you know. Final Fantasy comes out, man, I gotta stop everything and I gotta play the game. The only ones I haven't played are 11 and 14 because they're not really Final Fantasies, they're not single player, they're online ones, but whatever, let's skip that. Now, I'm gonna give out the pros and the cons. I didn't watch any of the other reviews. I have no idea what's going on. I didn't want to, and I didn't feel like making a YouTube video because then I would have to do research and I would see other opinions. So here are my opinions fresh. The game was a little standalone game, not a Final Fantasy. Don't think Final Fantasy, think of it as just a game. It's fantastic, you know, it's a story-driven game. It's a cinematic game. It's pretty much a movie that you can control, kind of like Last of Us. I don't know. It's not linear like they promised. They say it's not going to be linear, so it's not linear. As a game, it's amazing. I love the characters. It's very, you know, the ending's very sad. Sorry for the spoiler. Heavily inspired by Game of Thrones. It really has that fantasy feel to it. You know you're playing a Final Fantasy, you know. The bad guy, ultimate, he's alright. He's no Sephiroth. The combat was amazing, probably some of the best combat I've played in the Final Fantasy. I wouldn't say it's better than Remake, but it's probably better than Final Fantasy 15. Love the customization, the way you could just inhibit other efforts, and Shiva, the Espers or icons in this case. Now let's go to the cons, and I don't care if I get hate for this, man. It's not a Final Fantasy, man. It's just like, I want to see an open world Final Fantasy, okay? Just like a Final Fantasy title that's open world. When was the last time you saw an open world Final Fantasy? For me, it's Final Fantasy 9. And even though it wasn't really open world, because once you exit the village or a dungeon, you know, you become a little guy on the map walking around. I mean, why couldn't they do it with this one? And this one is like, once you exit the area, and there's only 4 areas. The whole game is only 4 areas. I mean, there's, you know, you could teleport to points on the map, but you can't, like, if I wanted to walk there, I couldn't. I would hit a fucking wall because, you know, I'll have to teleport. It's like, they couldn't even do that. You know, back then, when 10 came out, they didn't have the technology, yeah? So they had loading areas. You had to jump from area to area. Yeah, I understand. With 12 even, yeah, I understand. 13 was completely linear. I don't even want to talk about that shit. But 15 is like they had a chance. They had a chance there, and it worked for a little bit, but then halfway through the game, you can access half the world, and then, you know, you become linear once you go on the boat. And the only way you can get a flying car is if you do missions after the game. And it's like, just, they had a chance there, they fucked up. So I thought maybe in this case, they will finally fix it, but no. I mean, why can't we have an open world like The Witcher? Open world, one huge map, and where you can literally get on an airship and fly across the world, okay? Like, we have the technology. Final Fantasy they had a chance to do that, but they didn't know. I feel like they just rushed ahead with this and released it as is. I don't know, like, so overall, that's the cons, you know, the map, story gets convoluted, like, they could have just, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really like the bad guy, honestly, man. Like I said, he's not Sephiroth. Even the bad guy from the previous game, 15, was way, way cooler. So, I'll rank it below 15, but above 13, I would say. So if you never played the Final Fantasy, the new gen Final Fantasy, I suggest you pick up 15 instead of this. Overall, man, about 7 out of 10. I don't know, man. I expect better. Anyway, I'm the author of Eternal Horizon. Please check out my books on Amazon and subscribe.